You want some cards? Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Why do animals don't have punya papa when they are also reflecting the same Brahman or consciousness? Punya papa does not depend upon consciousness. Consciousness is equally there everywhere. In living entities and lifeless entities, consciousness is present everywhere. As asti bhati priyam. What's the difference between human beings and other beings? Is that human beings have kartrutvam, sense of doership. That is, we can perform deliberate actions. We can perform premeditated actions, deliberate actions. And thus we have kartrutvam, the sense of doership. I am doing this. We perform the action, there is this awareness that I am doing this, and thus we as human beings perform deliberate actions. Whereas other creatures do not perform deliberate actions, their actions are all determined by their instincts, instinctual actions. And so whether a dog barks or whatever they do, it is not deliberate. He decides, I'm going to bark now. I'm going to stop now. They just do what their instincts tell them to do. Meaning that creatures other than human beings do not have kartrutva or sense of doership that I am doing it. That abhimanam or that identification of kartrutva is not there, and therefore, in a way, they are not responsible for what they do. Therefore, no punya or papa attaches to them. For us also, if somebody can prove in the court of law, this action, this crime, supposedly crime was done, and the person was not conscious. He was under the influence of alcohol, something like that can be proven. Even a criminal action is not a conscious action, then court will not punish that person. Court also will punish someone for conscious or deliberate action. It can be proven that he was drunk, or in some way he was not himself, then perhaps he may not be punished, or punishment must be very much lower. So only human beings are capable of performing deliberate actions, premeditated actions. They alone have this awareness that I am doing this. That is called kartrutvam. And that is why human beings are accountable for what they do, punya and papa. Whereas other creatures don't do anything deliberately. They don't do things. Things happen through them. Like a machine doesn't do anything, things happen. And so also we can say that creatures, other human beings also, do not do anything deliberately. You may take an objection to this, Swamiji, what do you mean? When a cat pounces upon a rat, is it not a deliberate action? Cat will automatically, instinctively do that. Not that cat has premeditated, now let me wait here and then, it just sees a rat or a mouse and things just happen instinctively. So, therefore, human beings are responsible for what they do because they perform deliberate actions. So whether the same Brahman is not important, the upadhi is important. What distinguishes every one from the other is the upadhi, this name and form, and that Brahman is there is not of any consequence. How to stay interested in samsara and still continue the quest for moksha? How to stay interested? What do you mean by interested in samsara? And still, by interest in samsara, you mean interest in entertainments and the things that the samsara has to offer? Or interest in samsara means performing your duties? If by being interested in samsara, you mean to perform your duties, that is not opposed to moksha. The spirit of duty, in fact, is a means of self-growth, which is conducive for moksha ultimately. So, by samsara, if you mean performing your duties, then it's quite all right that is compatible with moksha. It will be called karma yoga. When you perform an action with this sense of duty, or karma yoga, and it is conducive or compatible to moksha, not opposed to moksha. Any further questions? 1 minute.
So, the human beings performs the duty well. So, my question is, can human beings reborn as an animal, or human being always reborn
as a human being? No, a jivatma is born according to the karma. As a human being, suppose the person abuses the freedom. As human beings, the freedom to perform action by free will, and we can abuse that free will, then we won't be given that freedom. So therefore, there is no rule that a human being will be born as a human being. Will be born in accordance with the karma, pava punya.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Yes.
So earlier today, you said that when the truth becomes valuable to me, I will get peace and happiness. So what does truth mean? I know that's a very broad question, but does truth mean honesty, or what does truth mean?
Truthfulness.
To be honest?
To be truthful. Speak truth.
Okay.
My questions are related to finding a guru. Does the guru have to be a living person? Can you have multiple gurus? They say the guru will find you when you are ready. How do we know we are ready? I don't know really any of these things because the guru just happened in my life. I walked into the guru, and so I don't know how these things happen. I guess it just happens because of your karma or because of grace. I attribute everything to the grace. As far as whatever has happened in my life, that it was by arrangement, that Puja Swamiji became Guru. Not that I went to search for him or he came in search of me. They were offering this course in Sandipani Sadhanalaya. I thought it was a good idea to attend that course. And therefore by default he became the Guru, and stayed the Guru as Guru. So in my personal case there has been no attempt as such to search for a Guru. Before that Swami Chinmayanji was the Guru and he remained the Guru also. And that also was that somebody took me to attend his first series of discourses many years ago. And what an impression was left in my mind. Next time when I saw in United States, I was attracted to go there because that past samskara. So he became the first Guru. And in us there was the inspiration to have an in-depth study of Vedanta, so I went to Bombay. So Pujya Swamiji became the Guru. So in my case, Gurus came, sort of, I do not have any particular process that you go, Guru comes to you, you go to Guru, etc. Somehow it will work out. When the grace or your punya karma fructifies, it will work out. Can you have multiple gurus? You can have more than one gurus, provided it does not create any confusion or conflict in your mind. Because it is likely that different persons have a different style, different way of communication. And therefore, if there are more than one teachers, it's likely that you may get perhaps different messages from them, or even sometimes contradictory messages also. In that case, there is likely to be confusion. So it is better that we restrict ourselves to one teacher. You study and gain enough maturity that now you are able to do the viveka, discrimination between what to take and what to leave. And then when you listen to other speakers or other people, then you know what aspect, what part you want to accept, what part you want to let go. So now you have that viveka or discrimination. Until then it's better to stick to one, understand things well, get the maturity, and then you can perhaps explore some other speakers also. Although I personally found no need to go to other people or other gurus. They say the Guru will find you when you are ready, etc. How do we know we are ready? Well, these days, so many gurus are available, so many lectures are available on YouTube and this, that and so forth. So, as it is, people listen to many things. I'm sure all those who are present here must be listening to several people. And as long as there is no conflict in your mind, there is no confusion in your mind, so it's okay, but I personally would not hesitate to listen to several people. Generally, one good guru or whatever is quite adequate for us to get what we want, but you would be the best judge for that purpose, about that. Please suggest some methods for intensifying my manda mumukshutvam, the tivra mumukshutvam. The mumukshutvam becomes tivra by cultivating vairagya or dispassion. Meaning that always do viveka or discrimination or discernment of what is what helps you and what does not help you. Theoretically, nitya, anitya, vastu, viveka, etc. But you should be doing the viveka or discrimination between what you find is proper and not proper, useful and not useful. And so that way, important to is vairagya or dispassion, freedom from raga and dvesha. So let us work on our mind. Work on our likes and dislikes or raga dveshas. And more the mind becomes free from raga dvesha, more the mind will be able to do viveka or discrimination or discernment, and more the vairagya also will become ripe or mature. Therefore, work on our impulses or ragadveshas or kama krodha, these impulses, let us observe them. Keep neutralizing them by pratipaksha bhavana. As the mind keeps becoming free from ragadveshas, that mumukshutva also will become more mature. Vairagya and mumukshutva will become more mature. How do we improve? Not judging people. We know it is not a good thing to do, to judge people. It automatically happens when one person starts and you join them. I don't know, when one person starts criticizing somebody, then you join them. Judging somebody is having a final opinion about somebody. We always have opinion about people. We always have a judgment about people. All that is that we should be open-minded and be ready to change our judgment. We find a different, other evidence about the person. I thought person is like this and this is my conclusion. But from behavior I find that, well, there are some other qualities and therefore I should change my opinion. We should be open-minded to change the opinion. That's all we can do. But any time we will have judgment. But it should not be final judgment. That's something that I cannot change. As I learn more about the person, I should be ready to change my opinion. And that is how we remain open-minded as much as we can. It's what we can do. If there are any questions, please let me know. Swamiji, in this evening class, kept on saying we should make our mind inward looking. Is it possible to elaborate on this? It helps. If any practice we can observe to train the mind, look inward. I hope my question is clear. Yes, the question is clear. More the mind becomes free from raga dveshas, more inward it will become. These impulses, raga dvesha, say anger, kama, krodha, these impulses drive the mind outward, away from me, away from the self. And therefore we should be watching our mind and watching for the impulses. Anger is the most common impulse that all of us have, or at least most of us have. And so we should be ready to work on this impulse of anger to begin with. The pratipaksha bhavana for anger is compassion. I become angry at somebody when I become intolerant. Anger is the result of intolerance. I cannot tolerate this person's his behavior, this, then, whatever, something or the other. It's intolerance that makes me angry. About tolerance, patience, forgiveness. These are the qualities I should try to cultivate within myself. In the words of Puji Swami, accommodation. That as much large-hearted I can become, but Swami, this fellow is telling lies. Okay, that also is okay. As best as possible, accept the person with their limitations, with their weaknesses. Because nobody is responsible for the limitation. It's there. Nobody is responsible for the blemishes. They are there. And therefore, by accepting, I do not mean that we condone them, that we accept, mean that this also is in order, this also is possible. Meaning that person does not deserve I should not condemn somebody for what they are. Should not condemn somebody because somebody is angry, somebody is greedy, somebody is having all these, some qualities which I disapprove of. Should not condemn anybody. Because a person is what the person is, not by choice, it's just that is how it is. And that being the case, I become accommodating. In the words of Puji Swami, accommodate. That also is in order. That also is, there is a reason why the person is what it is. And therefore, accept them as they are as much as we can. That doesn't mean that I approve of the person. That does not mean that, I will have the person in my home or something. That's not the point. But I understand the person is what the person is. That's how Ishvara has made them. How you accept dogs and cats and all kinds of entities, as they are. Just because a dog barks doesn't mean that you reject it. You know that it's nature. The mosquito, it bites you. Doesn't mean you hate mosquito. You don't want mosquito, you can remove the mosquito. But mosquito behaves according to its nature, that doesn't deserve to be hated. Because everybody and everything is what they are because of the nature. They need our understanding and not our rejection or hatred. That does not mean that I embrace everybody, that I bring everybody to my home, etc. That is not the point. But let them be in their space. And developing comfort with what is. Developing comfort with what is. So thus, some question?
Hari Om, I have a follow-up question on this. Is suppose there is something, which is, which you want to discriminate, which is right or wrong. So if somebody is not just judgmental, but from the dharmic point of view, if you think, according to dharma, this is not right, should you be then just be accepting of that, or should you be trying to guide and navigate that situation and not be totally accommodative of a dharma? I mean, there can be some instances where, it's totally not right, it could be in terms of, I'm trying to articulate that, from whatever we have learned in the cycle of life, that is acceptable or not. I mean,
Okay,
like chori and stealing and like hurting, and there are just some instances where you don't want to accommodate. So then how do you deal with that person?
Depends upon what your status, what is your responsibility. Are you responsible for the behavior of that person? I may be a parent, I may be a teacher, maybe I may have a responsibility for that person. In that case, my approach will be one. I am just an observer, unrelated to the person, then my approach will be different. If I am not related, then I don't have to in any way take it upon myself to change anything. Unless you think that it is your duty as a citizen, etc., that you need to do something about it, then go ahead and do what you can. But otherwise, if you are the response, you are a parent, for example, you are a teacher, you are an elder, in which case there is a responsibility. Then it's a different thing. But if there is no responsibility, then it's your choice whether you want to interfere in there, you want to participate or not, then becomes your choice. So reading this question, how to make the mind inward looking, it is said by trying to find out in my own mind what are my reactions and try to work with my reactions, work with my hatred, work with my aversions, work with my anger. These reactions are what keep my mind extrovert. So let me recognize these reactions in me and work with them. And more I am able to deal with them, more inward the mind, peaceful the mind will become. What in fact makes my mind restless is all the stuff that is in my mind itself. Whatever anger may be there, resentment may be there, etc. So those are the things that make my mind restless. I recognize them, work with them. And more you work with them, more inward looking the mind will become. According to the doctrine of karma, Ishvara, the karma decides the fruits of our karma. Who decides in which womb we take our next birth? Is it Ishvara or the Sukshma Sharira or that which survives? The doctrine of karma is a simple doctrine of cause and effect. Karma is the cause, karma is action, and karma phala, the result of the action is the effect. Effect is in keeping with the cause. So this law of karma is a simple thing, a simple law of cause and effect. As you sow, so you reap. That's all it is. Ishvara is karma phala. He doesn't decide what you should get. We ourselves by karma, in a way, have decided. Ishvara facilitates. The karma that I perform would bring about a certain outcome. Ishvara facilitates that outcome. He creates conditions for that outcome to happen, creates conditions for that to happen in my life, etc. But Ishvara doesn't decide. Decision is karma, and karma phala is what I have done. Does it make sense? Like the judge in a court of law. He doesn't decide anything. Depends on what the evidence is, he responds to that evidence. He doesn't have a free will to decide, what judgment he should give. The judgment is decided by the evidence. So Ishvara does not himself decide what the outcome is, the karma itself decides what the outcome is, and Ishvara facilitates that. Meaning that will create condition for me to experience my karma phala. And my karma decides what my next birth will be. And Upanishad says that even when I depart from this body, that Jiva-atma knows where he is going, where the destination is. And accordingly, the next birth will be there. What is born in Sukshma Sharira? Sukshma Sharira goes from one Sthula Sharira to another one. That's called the transmigration. And so all the karmas, they are all embedded in Sukshma Sharira. And that karma actually decides the trajectory of Sukshma Sharira. One minute.
Hari Om Swamiji. Isn't it proper discrimination and vairagya will lead to raga and dvesha? Because there is nobody different from you. When you create the difference, then only you get the raga and dvesha.
See, that there is nobody different from me is in theory. But as long as if I know my true nature, then there is nobody different from me. But as it is today, I look upon myself as body, and then I confine myself to the body. In that case, everything outside the body is different from me. So only when I will know the true nature of myself, then there will be nobody different from me. Then there will be no raga dveshas. But as long as, because of ignorance, I identify with this one body, so long everything outside the body is different from me, so long raga dveshas are going to be. Does it make sense? Okay. Somebody question there? Huh? Okay.
Puja Swamiji, Hari Om. So I have the question addition to this, that animal have no free will. So can animal is born as an animal only because they have no karma to free will, right? And one more thing. So when I listen to Gajendra books, right, and Gajendra have moksha. So Gajendra is like, I can say animal, right? So then how Gajendra have moksha?
So first question is that animals do not have a free will. But the thing is, when this Jiva-atma departs from this body, then the karma takes me from one embodiment to the other, and ultimately I am born as a human being after, whatever number of births are required. Meaning that when I depart from this body, my whole trajectory is decided by karma until I come back to a human body whenever I do. So karma actually guides this Jivatma in its path from one embodiment to the other until it comes back to human birth. So karma is what in fact decides that whole journey.
Swamiji, I think I'm still, we classify a lot of things colloquially as our mind, and I think I'm having trouble understanding, the detailed classification that's being presented here. So, intellect, buddhi, vijnana, sarati, I guess, is a metaphor for some of these things. And then I think I get manaha as being kind of more emotional mind or impulsive mind. Can you explain this a little bit more, and also if you can relate it to, Tattva-bodha, where they talk about manomaya kosha and vijnanamaya kosha? How does that classification fit in as well?
Right. This kosha means identification. Manomaya kosha means identification with the mind. Vijnanamaya kosha means identification with the intellect. So when I identify with the mind, I am supposed in Manomaya kosha. When I identify with the intellect, Vijnanamaya kosha. As my identification shifts from different aspects of my personality as though I am in different kosha. What is kosha? Kosha means a sheath that surrounds something, that conceals something, like a scabbard that conceals a sword. And so also different aspects of my personality as though conceal my true nature because of the identification. So when I am identified with the gross body, I look upon myself as so and so. And that identification deprives me of the knowledge of the true nature of myself. Identify with my pranamaya kosha, so each identification deprives me of the nature of the true nature. That's why we call it kosha or sheath. And so the antahkarana or the mind is divided into two major functions, buddhi and manaha. Buddhi is the discerning faculty, manaha the impulsive or the emotional faculty. There is chitta also, and there is ahankara also. So those two are clubbed in that's why we have two broad classifications. And that is what we have in Tattva-bodha also. So Tattva-bodha explains that the Sukshma Sharira has 17 elements, 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action, 5 prana, manaha and buddhi, 17. So therefore the antahkarana is looked upon as consisting of manaha and buddhi, the mind and intellect. Sometimes they look upon antahkarana as 4, as manaha, buddhi, chittam, ahankara. But here the other two are lumped, and thus we have manaha and buddhi.
So then the buddhi is considered equivalent to the intellect. Those are the same.
It is intellect, yes.
Hello, Swamiji. I'm just ignorant, that's why I'm asking this question actually. According to the Bhagavad Gita, is there women are considered like low dignity or low intelligent? Because one of the interpretation I read, and I was reading along with my daughter and I was not able to explain the response to her, that why women are considered unintelligent or something? Or is it just an interpretation which I read was wrong? So just want to know your thoughts about it.
See, talking to women about this issue is a little embarrassing, The 9th chapter of the Gita, Lord Krishna says, Striyo Vaishastra Shudraha. In fact, Lord Krishna is singing the glories of his bhakti and saying that how people who are not otherwise qualified also get liberated because of bhakti. So this is mentioned in the context of glorifying the bhakti. Te piyanti param gatim. Even they also attain the highest goal, who otherwise, because they are not supposedly theoretically qualified to study Vedas. Vaishyas are, but then Shudras are deprived from study of Vedas, also women. That's a general thing, Striyo Vaishyas tada Shudra. The purpose there is not to condemn them or look down upon them. The intention there is to glorify bhakti. That look, Arjuna, look at the glory of my bhakti. That these people who may otherwise not be qualified to get moksha also get moksha because of the bhakti. So sometimes to praise one thing, it looks like you're condemning somebody else. Swami, your lecture today was great, You see, that's it. I said, then how about yesterday's lecture, how the previous lectures? By calling one lecture great, in a way you are saying that other lectures are not great, which is not the intention. But when you want to praise somebody, automatically those who are not included as though they are looked down upon. So in that context you can say, Striyo Vaishyastra Shudra, Te piyanti, even they also attain the param gatim, the ultimate goal. It is not to condemn them, but to glorify the bhakti. In that context, this is said in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. That's the only place where you find this reference to women, etc. But it may be difficult to communicate to the present generation. I can communicate with you, perhaps, but it may be difficult to communicate with your daughter, because she would have more questions and less respect than you have for the Swami. And so you will say, Swamiji says, okay. But I guess your daughter may not give that kind of, benefit of doubt to Swami. What do you mean? No. So it may be more difficult to convince her on this issue. But all we are trying to do is to, more than anything, justify the validity of Scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, so that our Shraddha in the Scripture continues. The Shraddha for the Scripture such as Bhagavad Gita is very important, then alone the teaching of the Gita will have impact upon us. If we don't have that reverence for Gita, then the teaching will not have that much impact upon us. What will impact you is the respect with which you receive. Swami, I know him. If that's the thing, then perhaps things will not work. So also in Gita, we don't have that kind of reverence. Perhaps the teaching may not be received in a proper spirit, and then we may not benefit. So important is to have that reverence for Bhagavad Gita. And therefore, whatever comes there will be explained in such a way that the reverence is not affected, That is the job that Swami has to do. To make sure that whatever is taught is properly explained so that Bhagavad Gita's status and reverence, it remains. You follow? So one of the senior Swamis says, so we are like the defendant lawyers, हमको तो शास्त्र की वकालत करनी है. That's the job that Swamis have. Therefore, in whichever way we have to defend the scriptures. How can devotees of this tradition become fountains of love? How can devotees of this tradition become fountains of love? I feel to represent this tradition properly and to my debt to family and society, I must be able to give as much love as I can. Should I see everyone as God, as myself? Is there a mantra? Is it? What is it? Ritual? Ideally, as Lord Krishna teaches in Bhagavad Gita, see the other one as my own self. Mean that while interacting with someone, try to place myself in the position of that person and ask, how would I like to be treated if I was in that position? And then try to display that attitude towards that person. This is what Lord Krishna says. Atma upamena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, one looks at everybody in the same way by looking upon others as his own self. That's a very tall order. But ideally, this is what we should try to do. Look upon others as myself or place myself in the position of the others and ask myself, how would I like to be treated had I been in that position? And try to behave in that manner as much as I can. Does it answer the question here? Is boredom a vasana of the mind? How do we counter boredom and go towards tranquility of the mind? The mind has three dispositions, sattva, rajas and tamas. Boredom falls in the category of tamas. Therefore, to overcome boredom, Bring in rajas activity, meaning that if you are bored, give some activity to the mind. Start doing pranayama, or start walking, some activity so that the body and the mind also get a little charged with some rajas. So that's the way to overcome the tamas. We talked about value of values, intellect, training the mind, inward happiness, and today's afternoon discourse is 100% correct. It is scripture. But in reality, in real world, 99.9% of people are not able to put it in practice. It is very difficult. Krishna in the Gita says it. On the other hand, even though temporary happiness from outside by senses are achievable easily, so what should we do? Live modest life, practicing spiritual and material life and not overthink it. Temporary happiness from outside is not easy. Who says it's easy to get happiness from outside? I don't think so. You feel happiness is a result of the fructification of a past punya karma. If your past punya karma fructifies, then you can feel happy in the present, not otherwise. So it's not easy to get happiness from outside. Here the questioner says that it's easy to get happiness from outside, so why not live with that and why do all this hard work to get happiness from the Atma? But it's not easy because it's all the rule of the diminishing return. What gave me happiness today it may not give me tomorrow. There is no certainty that a given time, a given place, given person, given object will necessarily make me happy. There is no rule. And therefore, the only rule is you get happiness as a result of the fructification of punya karma. To be happy, therefore, do as much good as you can. Do good, be good and do good, and the situation will come to make you happy. So if you want happiness from outside, the means to do that is to go do good karma. As much selfless activity as you can, then you can create happiness for yourself. Otherwise, objects cannot give us happiness unless right situations are created, unless our punya karma is there. Okay, I think we'll leave these two questions for tomorrow and conclude bhajan this evening. So Neeraj, give it to our Rohini. She'll come here. Okay, good. She has harmonium here. He comes from Gujarat, from Rajkot, and for many years he has been reciting the Ramcharitmanas of Saint Tulsidas Ji in various ragas with all the bhava or the devotion, and therefore we requested her to sing something from either whatever she chooses to sing, but important is her voice, her devotion, and then whatever it is that she sings.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, got it. It's okay. She sings well. Om Namah Paramahansa Swadi Charana Chinamakarandaya Bhakta Janamanas Nivasaya Shri Ramachandraya Bandau Guru Padakanj Kripa Sindhu Nar Rupa Hari Mahamohatama Punja Jasubachana Rabikar Nikara Bandau Guru Pada Padam Paraga Suruchi Suvasa Sarasa Anuraga Amiya Muri Maya Churana Charu Samana Sakala Bhava Ruja Parivaru Sukruti Sambhutana Bimala Vibhuti Manjula Mangala Moda Prasuti Jana Mana Manju Mukula Malaharani Kiye Tilaka Gunagana Basa Karani Shri Guru Padanakha Manigana Jyoti Sumirat Divya Drashti Hiya Hoti Dalana Mohatama Sosa Prakasu Bade Bhaga Ur Avaijasu Siya Rama Sarupaya Gadayanup Bilochan Meenan Ko Jal Hai Shruti Rama Katha Mukha Rama Ko Nama Hiye Puni Rama Hi Ko Thalu Hai Mati Rama Hi So Gati Rama Hi So Rati Rama So Rama Hi Ko Balu Hai सबकी न कहे तुलसी के मते इतनो जग जीवन को फल है. Just now Pujya Swamiji says how to become happy by chanting and by listening. There is an rupak given over here in Drishtant. They explain that how can you see the Lord. The two eyes are in the form of fishes, and the Swarup of Lord Ram or any deity is in the form of water. Just as fishes don't like to come out from water, in the same way, Goswami Tulsidas Ji says this in Kavitavali, that please let me enjoy your Swarup with all my senses. सिय राम स्वरूप अगाध अनूप, बिलोचन मीनन को जल है। श्रुति राम कथा मुख राम को नाम, ये पुनि राम ही को थलु है। सबकी न कहें तुलसी के मते, इतनो जग जीवन को फल है। In the end, one beautiful small couplet or one pad from Binay Patrika. Lord Ram is so udar, compassion, and his kind and grace is always benevolent on all of us. ऐसो को उदार जग मां है, बिनु सेवा जो द्रवई दीन पर, राम सरिस को नाही। ऐसो को उदार जग मां है, जो गति जोग विराग जतन करी, नहीं पावत मुनि ज्ञानी। सो गति देत गीध सबरी कहा, प्रभु न बहुत जिय जानी। ऐसो को उदार जग मां है, बिनु सेवा जो द्रवे दीन पर, राम सरिस को नाही। राम सरिस को नाही। तुलसीदास सब भांति सकल सुख, जो चाहसी मन मेरो, तो भज राम काम सब पूरन, करहि कृपा निधि तेरो। ऐसो को उदार जग मां है, बिनु सेवा जो द्रवै दीन पर, राम सरिस को नाही। ऐसो को उदार जग मां है। ગાવું છે જી, ટાઈમ થઈ ગયો આપનો, મેં કીધું. ઓકે, હા. प्रभु हम भी शरणागत है, स्वीकार करो तो जाने। अब हमें पतित से पावन, सरकार करो तो जाने। प्रभु हम भी शरणागत है, स्वीकार करो तो जाने। क्या मुख से विनय सुनाऊं, हम कैसे तुमको भाए। अगणित अपराध किए हैं, अगणित अपराध किए हैं, उद्धार करो तो जाने। प्रभु हम भी शरणागत है, स्वीकार करो तो जाने। ज्ञानी तुम में तन्मय है, ध्यानी भी तुम में लय है। हम अज्ञानी चंचल चित, हम अज्ञानी चंचल चित, निस्तार करो तो जाने। प्रभु हम भी शरणागत है, स्वीकार करो तो जाने। प्रभु हम भी शरणागत है, स्वीकार करो तो जाने। जीवन नैया जर जर है, पल पल विनाश का डर है। ऐसे भी एक पथिक का, ऐसे भी एक पथिक का, उद्धार करो तो जाने। प्रभु हम भी शरणागत है, स्वीकार करो तो जाने। अब हमें पतित से पावन सरकार करो तो जाने। प्रभु हम भी शरणागत है, स्वीकार करो तो जाने। मौसम दीनन दीन हित, तुम समान रघुवीर। अस विचारी रघुवंशमणि, हरहु विषम भवभीर। कामिहि नारि पियारि जिमि, लोभी प्रिय जिमि दाम। तिमि रघुनाथ निरंतर, प्रिय लागहो मोहि राम। न धर्मनिष्ठोऽस्मि न चात्मवेदी, न भक्तिमास्त्वच्चरणारविन्दे। अकिञ्चनो नान्यगति शरण्यं, त्वत्पादमूलं शरणं प्रपद्ये। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव हर।
Namaste. Please wait for announcements about schedule for tomorrow. Thank you.
What is the announcement? Somebody is waiting.
Namaste. Tomorrow, as most of you know, that we have a Mandala Puja, that is for the completion of the Kumbhabhishekam that happened on May 17th to 19th. So tomorrow is the Mandala Puja for that completion. So the class schedule for tomorrow: meditation same time, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Swamini Paraprajnananda ji will be conducting meditation. 9 a.m. class with Swami Viditatmananda ji, 9 to 10 a.m. After that, we will have class only at 5 p.m. So there will be no 5 p.m., no 11 a.m. class. So please note that. After 9 a.m. class with Swami Viditatmananda ji, 5 p.m. we will have class with Swamini Paraprajnananda ji. And after that, we will have youth presentation, 7:15 p.m. tomorrow. That will be for the camp children who are attending. So they will be presenting what they learnt. So Brahmachari Pratyagatma ji will be conducting that and organizing. That will be 7:15 p.m. and 8 p.m. we will have our regular satsang. Okay. So 7 a.m. meditation, 9 a.m. class with Swami Viditatmananda ji, 5 p.m. class with Swamini Paraprajnananda ji, and anyway after that also we will announce about evening's youth presentation and satsang. Satsang same time. Yoga class same time, yes. I think he changed to 3 p.m., right? Yes. So 3 p.m. yoga class with Lance G at the yoga studio. The other thing is the Mandala Puja. If any of you are interested in attending, it will start at 8 a.m. At the Homa building. So if you know where the Homa building is, just across the temple, that road is Homa building. So that's where the Homa will start at 8 a.m. Probably till about 10:30 a.m. It will be in the Homa building. Then it will be at the temple hall for the Kalasha Abhishekam. So it will start around 10:30 and go on till 12 or so. So after that, followed by prasada, lunch, and the evening schedule for class, 5 p.m. 3 p.m. of course yoga, and then 5 p.m. Swamini class. Thank you. Morning there is no change in the Abhisheka or any of those pujas. That's always there, every day. Thank you. Yes, 5:45 is the Abhisheka at the 5:40 at the temple hall.